Righto, my laying up and joining process for the fuselage is, well, essentially from like there forward is glass strip, and there back is a splooge mix with a difference. So I'm more of a let it go green and trim it off at the mould edge kind of person, as opposed to a bladder type. I just couldn't deal with the anxiety of waking up in the morning to a burst bladder and an unjoined fuselage, so I like to know it gets done. Although there's a couple of guys on the forum that are leaning me towards giving it a shot, but it would mean different moulds, because you've got to have recesses in here and a stronger mould, because this is just fiberglass. So I wouldn't deal with the pressure. But anyway, that's beside the point. What I do is I have a template made of plywood, and it's very easy to run around the outside of the template onto some balsa wood to create two vertical webs. Now normally this wouldn't sit down in that far because there's thickness, there's material in there. But what that does is a couple of things. Is it gives me an edge to run some splooge on, and it bonds the bottom and the top halves, or surfaces, or edges if you like, to create some hoop stiffness. So it helps in all kinds of strengthening ways and bits. From there, on the back it says extend 20 millimeters. Yeah, that's because it could probably go back a bit further, because it's quite vertical in here, and stop the splooge from falling away. All this area here lends itself nicely just to a straight splooge mix. So once I've got that in place, I've got the web in place with splooge all through here, blah 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 blah, splooge, splooge, splooge. Oh, on a side note, it's really handy to be able to have your moulds, if you decide to build any, have them to be able to stand up like that. It's very handy. So getting back to it, so once I've got the web in place and it's all ready to go, I put a bit of resin through here where I'm going to join, bring them together, bolt them together, stand them up. Then I have some freezer film, and I put some glass onto some freezer film. That's what I use is 295. The locals will probably know that as Jabiru glass, we used to build the Jabiru light aircraft. And I use a strip of that on the go-between on the freezer film, and then I can just feed them down carefully into the slot there. And I put one little strip on my pinky and just feed it in there and press it into place. And of course, once it's got the freezer film, once it's in there, freezer film side up, I can just use my finger and push it down onto the joint, and etc. So that works for me. It may not be the best way, but it works for me, and I know it's going to happen. The splooge itself, I make my own. It's like 3 parts cotton flock, 1 part aerosols or colloidal silica. And the reason it's 3 to 1 for me is it's just because it's the same mixture as my resin and hardener, so I don't forget it. But I mean, essentially you just want, I mean, if you ever chopped up a piece of cotton very, very fine, if you could imagine chopping up a piece of cotton very, very fine, soak it all with resin, squeegee out the cotton, and all of the resin would just out of it, so technical term. And the aerosols, the colloidal silica, just makes it pasty so it doesn't run out of the cotton flock. So even if you got 2 to 1 cotton flock to aerosols or colloidal silica, wouldn't matter, but that's just for me, for a way to remember it. It's mostly cotton flock with the colloidal silica, just to make it pasty so it stays in place. I think that's about it. Once the join is cured in here, once the glass is joined, the freezer film I leave on there for it to cure, and then once it's cured, I can actually just pick the freezer film out, and it's done. It just falls away. That's really simple. That's it. My wing plate bolts go in here. I think that's pretty much explained on the blog. If not, I can do another one on that. Alrighty, that's it.